For coming. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. I appreciate that. So I'm here to talk about my dad. He's one of the coolest people this earth has ever seen, in my eyes. Yeah, that guy was he was too cool. I never saw that guy rattle ever. If he was ever around, I was never worried because he was never worried.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better dad. I mean, he was always there for me. And anything I ever needed, he was always there.
And he looked just like his brother.
Told myself I would.
Love you, Eddie.
I don't want to embarrass her. There we go. I know he used to like to talk about all the cool stuff me and my sister did, all our accomplishments, but the truth is without him, we wouldn't have accomplished anything. What? I better stop crying.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
We got it. There we go. All right. He was always there to help. He was always so generous, as I'm sure all you can attest to. I mean, always made everybody feel welcome. Always took the time to talk to everybody. He was a super cool guy. I wish I had that trait. I'm horrible at talking to people. I thought it'd be easy if I looked at my phone with my notes, but it's kind of small with the teary eyes. And as much as he loved Trish and I, it was good to see the kind of love he had for his grandkids. It was a whole other level. I mean, Ava, Maya, Ruby, and Dean, he loved you guys like no words can describe. I know he's not here in the physical form anymore, but he's gonna live on through our memories. And everybody here, I just want you to keep telling others about your loved ones, and so everybody can kind of live forever. I mean, they're gonna live in our memories, so keep talking about our loved ones. And I know speech was kind of horrible with me whining up here, but love you too. And in closing, let's put up our drinks. A little toast to my dad. I love you, Dad. I'll see you again.
I know I'm gonna cry sometimes. Yes, I brought notes. They're right next to my pocket protector. Okay. First of all, I just want to thank all the many people that were involved in getting today ready. So many hands in the pot, so many people just jumping in to contribute their time, contribute their funds, contribute their efforts. So thank you so much. You all know who you are. We appreciate it more than we can say. I'm going to kick this off with an embarrassing story, just because I think we're all friends and I think we can handle it, and I don't think you're going to judge me. When I straight judged. When I was 11, my parents had just split up. My dad was staying in a one-room little bitty house in Upland. And we would stay the night at his house a couple weekends a month. And this one weekend, I straight up peed the bed, like slept through it. Disaster. I don't know how I slept through it, but I wake up in the morning, and my dad walks in, and he's like, "Don't worry about it. I took care of everything. It's our secret." And I was like, "Well, what is he talking about?" I figured it out. There's no blankets. He threw them in the washer. Like, he was actively hiding the evidence for me, so that my brother wouldn't make fun of me, and so that I wouldn't be embarrassed. And that's just who he was. He didn't want anybody to feel bad or feel embarrassed. He just moved on, cleaned up the mess, and we're on to the next thing. Somehow my dad, he got his hands on the recipe for how to raise kids. And for Eddie and I, that meant that he was constantly complimenting us, that he was interested in whatever we were interested in, that he would make time for us, and that he believed in us with every fiber of his body, of his being, and he made sure that we knew that all the time. He never made my brother or I feel like we should be doing or interested in anything other than what we wanted. An example of that is I was a teenager and he started teaching me the guitar. And we started on this song, this beautiful Santana song called Samba Bati. So he teaches me the song. He gives me a guitar, he gives me a case, he gives me a little mini amplifier, a tuner, an exerciser, like the whole package, the starter kit. And then for whatever teenage reason, I got distracted and I ran off in another direction and didn't look back. And he never once questioned me, never said like, "Hey, you're gonna practice," or "Hey, we're gonna," nothing. Like all that investment, but no problem, not a word. He started teaching my youngest daughter, Maya, how to play the ukulele in these last couple years. And he and Kim bought my daughter Ruby a keyboard, and she was playing that. And anytime I would make a comment about, "Oh, they need to practice more," or whatever it was, he would always just say, no, if they like it, they'll practice. We don't need to force it. No, it's just his nature. Like, I'm not going to push it on you. It's all good. If you want it, great, I'll help you. But otherwise, no problem. My dad was, I'm on past page 1 and I haven't cried yet. I just want to let the record show. My dad was such a talented person, really talented. And if you knew him, you knew that. He used to be interested in motorcycles before he had kids. He loved to ride them. My mom told me that he built a chopper in the living room. He was an amazing guitar player. He could build a guitar from the ground up. He could paint guitars. I mean, if he was interested in it, he was going to get good at it. And there's just no question about that. He would talk about everything. I mean, I would just hang on his every last word, but everything was just right over my head. I had no idea what he was talking about. He would talk about the gear page and humbuggers and zebra coils and abalone pickguards and flame top maple. I mean, stuff that would just fly. I would just wonder, how does he pack all that in his head? He had gotten into brewing beer over the last 10 years. It was a passion. Drink some. It was a passion that he and my husband shared. They would geek out about beer all the time. I mean, they could just go on for hours. And it was funny, my daughter Ruby, we recently came upon a picture and they were in the background. And she's like, "Look at it, I bet you they're talking about beer." And honestly, I'm not just saying this because I'm his daughter, but he would brew legit tasting beer. Like, it tasted like something from a craft brewery or something that you would, pop a can and enjoy. No joke. He was so creative too. Like, there was a couple I think that he did with jalapeno. There was like a strawberry cream lager. I think he did an orangesicle. They were just super creative. He was always into custom, you name it. Custom motorcycles, custom guitars, custom brew. But it hit me recently that he himself was the custom. He was a one-of-a-kind person. And like I said, anything that he became really interested in, just watch out. He's going to chase it down full throttle, and he's going to figure out every aspect of that. And he was blessed to find and marry not one, but two wonderful women, not at the same time, but wonderful women that, just clarify, that gave him the space to live his passion and to be himself. My beautiful mom did it for many years, and then later on when he married Kim, she was that same kind of supportive, just always honoring his freedom and encouraging him to do what made him happy. And Dad graduated into being a father-in-law so gracefully. He never gave Chris, at least that I know of, he never gave Chris the "I'll break your legs" talk or the, dad, tough guy treatment. He didn't have it in him. He always had open arms for the people, the special people in our lives. True. He just loved and adored Audrey and Chris, and then, like my brother said, when he became a grandpa, it just cracked open a whole new dimension of who he was. He just absolutely adored his grandkids and every little thing that they did. He was a believer in God. He always prayed and he always trusted him. And he was always ready and willing to say a prayer. So many times I can remember him saying I'm praying for your friend, Miha. Or, will you pray for so-and-so? They're going through a tough time. He was such a loving person. He was so generous and humble and compassionate, and he was a big mush. He cried at almost every single birthday card. He was a person who always made you feel good. He was a rock star. He was a badass, and he was a good guy, all rolled up into one. And one thing about my dad is that he wasn't a pushover. He was all those sweet things, 100%, all those sweet things that I just mentioned, but he didn't take any shit either. Sorry. He never allowed anyone to walk all over him. And if you didn't treat him right, he just didn't have room for you in his life. And I think that's a great thing, especially for me, especially for a girl to grow up understanding and witnessing. We're always taught to be people pleasers, and that just wasn't a thing because I had that example. You don't need people who are not the best people. And one of my most favorite, the last thing I was just going to say about that is I think that we should all value ourselves and know our worth to the point that we operate in that same way. One of my most favorite qualities about my dad was his sense of humor. He was a damn hoot. He always had a joke ready on deck. Always. I'm sure all of you can attest to that. He was just ready to make you laugh. A big influence on my own sense of humor. He could always brighten my day or change my mood just from a conversation. Another thing that I'll say about Dad, and this is the last thing that I'll leave you with, another of my favorite things was his love for people and his ability to make connections with good people. He was always broadcasting other people's signals. If you ever did anything nice for him, trust me, we knew about it because he would tell us. And when people did nice things for him, he would always go out of his way to get even and bless them back. He had great relationships with some wonderful people, and he was always so good at spotting good people. A wise sage once said that real recognize real. And that's recognize, not recognize. Real.
Yeah, he was real good about that.
But in that case, it was just true for him. When relationships and when friendships would develop, he was always so good at nurturing those relationships and putting the effort in to keep them alive, keep them going. And when I look around and I see all these great people, I just know that he's smiling down on us right now. I just know it. The void that was created by his absence is huge. Don't get me wrong, there's a big empty space there, but I don't feel hopeless. I have his love and his spirit with me, and I hope that you all feel the same way. I hope that when you think of him, that it's with joy, because that's what he would want. Lastly, I just want you to I want to urge all of you guys to just cherish your loved ones and take a page out of my dad's book and tell them that you love them. You know, tell them how you feel. Tell them what they mean to you. Because you don't get a second chance. And just answer the phone. Send the texts that say what you feel. You won't regret it. I just want to thank everybody for being here today. It really, really means a lot.
To bring that here today, and everybody can sample that. It was strawberry blonde and recognition of Kim's beautiful wife, strawberry blonde. Cheers.
Aww.
Did such a great job with you. I'll just add one last thing. Ed accepted me day one. Like Trish said.
And that they were going to turn out.
I'm proud.
My brother, my biological brother, happened to be visiting us in Texas, and we were driving, and I said, I'm really praying for a miracle for Ed, for his recovery. And I said, but even more than that, I'm praying that, that he knows Jesus, and that, my bracelet says hope, we'll all have hope that we'll be reunited again. And my brother said to me, well, I don't know if Ed knows Jesus, but Jesus knows.
I thought I'm just dropping off a base. Oh, no.
It gets
Come in,
okay?
Kim's got snacks out and got the drinks out, and that's the way they rolled, man, They opened up their house to you, even if you just wheeled up to drop something off. Or, hell, if I was a Mormon, I'm thinking I'd got converted here in the kitchen. How could you not, So, I'm always going to remember Ed that way. Man, just lots of fun, smiles and laughter. That's what I remember about Ed. And again, in one conversation, in one night, he told me, I love Woody. And you remember, he just told me the story again the first time he met him. And what a good man he is. I love you. I love Kelly. I love you guys. What's going on here? He did that. Told me how much he loved his kids, how proud he was of his kids, how much he loved his grandkids. Give us updates on what everybody was doing, And he told me, you need to apply sunblock every 30 minutes. That's something he told me all the time. I know I'm fair, but he acted like it was something he needed to do, I'm gonna miss him. I feel lucky to have that relationship with Ed. He made me a better person. And my whole family benefited from knowing Ed. So, cheers to Ed Alvarado.
So, I'm the great dog. This is my godson right here. But I'm making this my goddaughter right now. And if God don't like it, that's just bad. Bring it in. All right.
I think that wraps it up, you guys, for all of the official speaking. Again, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for being here. I see you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to have tacos pretty soon here, and we're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of wonderful, amazing musicians are going to play for all of us. So please enjoy yourself.
If anybody wants to come up here and say a couple words about my dad.
To make Eddie who was Eddie. His musician friends who gave him the opportunity to grow, play better. Did I do right or did I do good? But today, open those bottles on your table, take your shots, and hopefully when we go around, we don't see anything left out. About 56 years ago, we had a good night, and we knew Ed
Man, he was 7 years old. Yeah, we were from P-Town. There's 5 of us here that he has known Eddie all our lives. All our lives. Eddie was a young guy. He was the baby. You know, he had 2-3 years on him. And Eddie, don't do this, do this. Yeah, I mean, even though it was wrong, if you do it, it's cool. We tell you to do it. Okay. Remember when they had Eddie Acosta that just talked right now? You know, I'm gonna tell him in 5th grade, one of his gifts that he gave him for Christmas was a shaving kit. The guy had a mustache in 6th grade. Ed at 14, 15 years ago, tell me, look at Rudy, look at. Oh, my name's Rudy Kraska. He goes, look at, what, bro? He had eyebrow pencil. Because we all had
to say, I'm like, come on, Dad, I gotta drive home.
Yeah, right.
Come on, Mio, one last parting shot. All right, everybody, put your glasses up one more time. One of the coolest cats I ever lived, my dad.
Salud.
Ed, love you. Love you.
And I moved from Chicago in 1981. He was the first band I played with, and we got together. We were doing good. We started actually playing weddings. Probably the most money I ever made in music, playing all these Mexican weddings. So me and my brother was the drummer, and me, and we're talking about, okay, what are we gonna name the band? What are we gonna name the band? And everyone's coming up with these names, and I'm by Eddie, and I look at Eddie. He goes, "Come on, 3 Mexicans to the band. We should call it the Beer Walk."
Es que amor apasionado de muy agotado por
Make them so we can have something to play the cards on. And this is what I came up with for him. And he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And that's how we connected. People who never knew each other.
To know me, I'm really a social butterfly, so to speak, and you know, he and I had this hey and shake hands
I'm Renee
kind of
Roach's
relationship.
oldest daughter.
And
Eddie was one of my dad's best friends. He had a lot. As most of you know, they died very close together. Eddie was the world to my dad. Every time something happened, I needed a guitar, we needed something, let me call Eddie, I'll call you back. Let me call Eddie, I'm going to call you back. All the time. He was a consistent in my dad's life, a consistent in all of our family's life. Him and Kim were so consistent through my dad's stuff. They were there the whole time. I hope we're like that for you. I really do. We love you guys so much. So much. Just wanted to say that. And there's nobody like you guys. We love you guys a lot. His jokes. Yeah, I don't even have to see his face because he can make you kill you. I mean, he has expressions for everything. And I'm gonna miss him so much. I love you.
Dear Lord, it won't stop. That's how it happens, living life by the top. No wasting time in life today. Shutting up the past, there's no easier way. Time spent between us and means to an end. God, it's good to be here working together, my friend. We're living our dream. My mind is aching. That's how it happens, living life by the drive. That's how it happens, living life by the top. It's how it happens, living life by the top.